Howdy everyone, this is Caleb. Welcome back to another edition of our What's New in Tech videos. If you saw yesterday's video, you know that this week I'm at the Aggie STEM Teacher Bootcamp training, and I'm here to gather a lot of good new technology and the new teaching techniques that hopefully we can take back to Pecos and really get implemented. It is especially for elementary teachers, but my goal is to distill information that'll be useful for students of all ages. You can see I'm still rocking my summer attire, which is the goal, and I'm a little upset at myself because it is 6:45 a.m. and I'm awake and it's the summertime, so what am I doing? But I'm very excited for what's going to happen today. We don't really have much of an itinerary, so I don't know what will be happening, so it's going to be kind of a surprise, but my goal is to get some videos and some photos of what I'm doing. That way I can share them with you at the middle of the video, and at the end of the video give my takeaway thoughts on everything. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You're going to see me in just a few seconds with the rest of the content of the video, but it's almost breakfast time, and they actually provided a pretty good breakfast, so I'm excited for that. But we'll see you guys very shortly. Thanks for watching.
Hi guys, just got finished doing the campus tour, which is why I look a little bit sweaty, but I wanted to check in and tell you kind of what's been going on this morning. We did introductions and we kind of got our layout for how the week is going to work, which I'll touch on later in the video. But like I said, we just got done doing a campus tour, which for me was super awesome because I am actually an A&M alumni, and so it was nice to see all those cool sights and sounds that I saw when I was here as an undergrad. I'm going to throw up a couple of the pictures that I took throughout the tour, some really cool things. First, we've got the statue called Shaping the Future. This is actually outside of the education building, and I think it's really impactful to see that early on so that we know why we're here doing this STEM boot camp. After that, we've got the century tree, which is a super old tree on A&M's campus. It's well over 100 years old. Lots of mystery around it and superstitions and traditions, but it's really neat to see. Next, you have the Cushing Library, which is A&M's original library, has now been converted to more of a historic library that has archives and things like that in it. Fun fact, it actually has one of the largest collections of Game of Thrones memorabilia out there, so that's pretty neat. And then lastly, you've got a shot of the academic building, which is another one of those kind of original buildings on campus, and just a neat thing to see to start it off. So that's going to be all I have for here. A little bit later, I'm going to come back on with some videos and some photos of what we did during the training today, and then kind of laying out how the week's going to go. But thanks.
All right, well, I didn't get a chance to get any video from any of the classroom activity type stuff we did today, but that was just because it was mostly lecture-based stuff. But I do have some cool pictures that I'm going to throw up from our tours that we did. We actually went to the veterinary medicine / biomedical science lab, and we got to tour their different stations, their sections where they do all the dissecting, as well as the areas where they actually do bone casting and plastic modeling and things like that. So I have some cool skeletons. There were some even cooler ones that I didn't get to take a picture of because they have rules about what you can and can't photograph. So the first photo I've got for you guys here, this is a jaguar skeleton, and it's an actual real jaguar skeleton that they have just sitting out in their lab for people to look at. That was pretty cool. Next, we have a bear skeleton, and so the bear skeleton is actually a casting, so it looks a little bit different than the normal skeleton would, just because it's been messed with. And then after that, we've got a tiger skeleton, which you can see is super cool. I was very excited. Some of the teachers were freaking out the whole time. And then lastly, we've got a casting of a giraffe skull, and that was pretty cool too, because it actually came from they had to do surgery on a juvenile giraffe that didn't make it, so they were allowed to keep the skull. So it was super neat to get to experience that and get to see all the cool STEM related activities and careers you can have inside the biomedical sciences and veterinary medicine side. So that was a pretty neat thing. But I was sad that I didn't get to get more photos and videos from it. But like I said, they do have rules on what you can and can't photograph there. All right, and lastly for today, I'm going to be talking about what the schedule for the rest of the week is going to look like and kind of what we covered today. So for the rest of the week, it's going to be broken down into a couple of different sections. So early in the morning, we're going to be talking about robotics in the classroom, which I'm super excited for, and that really ties in with a lot of what I do with you guys in your classroom. After that, we're working through some curriculum called Engineering is Elementary, which I'll bring up in just a minute. I'll show you the curriculum book that I'm working from, which I get to bring back with me to Pecos. And then we have lunch, and then after lunch, we're working on aquaponics, which aquaponics is super cool. It's creating these full system ecosystems where you have fish and you have water plants. Not necessarily water plants, you have plants growing in the water, their roots are in the water. And the way it works is the fish provide the nitrogen through producing ammonia, which bacteria converts into nitrogen, which the root system of the plants use, which cleans the water, which comes back to the fish to provide them with clean water. And so my afternoons are going to be spent creating aquaponic systems and then getting to take the technology that's behind that, bringing it back with me to Pecos. And so if anybody's interested in that, those will be part of the videos for the rest of the week. And then we can talk about it when I get back to Pecos. And then the last thing we do each day is more touring, as well as starting some classroom management techniques that I'm super excited to learn about. That way I can give to you guys. I'm definitely going to try to bring in a technological component to this, even more so than some of the STEM practices that I get. That way I can always help you tie it back into using your iPads, using your Chromebooks, and making it work. And that being said, I want to talk again a little bit more about the Engineering as Elementary curriculum. So what they've given us is this one right here. So it's this one is actually just passing through designing model membranes. You can see here it's a big binder full of stuff, and actually after this video is done, I have to do some homework because I have to present to the class on something from it tomorrow. But the way this works is it's designed for 1st through 5 grade levels, and the way it is it starts off with a book that is written at their appropriate reading level. Let me see if I can pull the book out. So you can pull the book here, and it's One Daniel's Football Frog for this one. Each lesson, which this one is about the membranes, each lesson starts with a kind of a cultural story across several different cultures. This was actually a Latin America story, so it's filled with some Spanish vocab in it, which is neat. And it walks kids through basically the framework for why talking about the membranes is important. And it shows them at their level where it is, and then you as the teacher start tying it in more and more into the science concepts, and you do hands-on learning, you do a lot of thinking about it, talking about it, doing it, style learning. So it's super cool. Like I said, I have to do a little bit of homework on it tonight, so I'm excited to dive into it. But this is going to be what I talk about as well. So for the rest of the week, we'll be working through this one lesson on creating the model membranes out of the materials that we're going to be given. So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be all I have for this video. I know it's a little bit longer than the videos I typically do, and tomorrow will be shorter because it'll be just kind of a breakdown of those 4 different sections that we talk about. But just wanted to give you kind of a glimpse into Aggie Land today, a glimpse into what the week's going to look like, as well as kind of the topics we talked about today. So that being said, I hope you have a great rest of whatever day it is when you watch this video. Be sure to check out yesterday's video, which was the intro to this, and be sure to check out tomorrow's video, which would be day 2 of the STEM bootcamp. Thanks.